joined by Congressman Jim Jordan. And Congressman Jordan last month, and we talked about this with Congressman Jordan, he sent a letter to Christopher Wray. It was kind of predicting a lot of what we've now seen in this last 24 hours. In the letter, Congressman Jordan pointed out that whistleblowers have come to him and disclosed how there is a purge going on at the FBI of conservative employees, which we talked about, that this is not just about the top seventh floor, but we're starting to see this now permeate through the FBI. Congressman Jordan, thanks for joining us. Let me ask you that first, because these whistleblowers seem to be telling you that, hey, it's not just the seventh floor anymore. It's all the way down to FBI employees, that if you're conservative, you're being pushed out.
Well, yeah, we've had 14 whistleblowers. Think about that. 14 whistleblowers come to us, and we're in the minority. So we don't have a whole lot we can do other than tell their story, but they're still willing to come to us because it's so bad. They've come to us on the school boards targeting moms and dads who go to school board meetings. They're coming to us about the January 6th. They're coming to us about this pressure they're facing to label and categorize all cases as domestic violence extremism cases. So when you have that many agents come to you as whistleblower status, that tells you how bad this is. And then you couple it with what happened this week with the president and with Congressman Perry. It just shows you how dangerous and frightening this all is.
You know, Jim, one of the things that have me concerned, after representing the president for those 4 years during the impeachments, during the Mueller issues, and then you mentioned Congressman Perry. I mean, he's walking with his family, and 3 FBI agents approached him to get his phone. Now, and executed a warrant. I mean, that's my understanding. Was a search warrant was utilized to do this. They are running amok of every guardrail that was set up, not only separation of powers, but just in a constitutional republic. When I said earlier in our broadcast, Jim, was no one is saying, no, this is not a good idea. We shouldn't do this. That's what has me concerned right now.
No, I totally agree. And context is always important. Remember, it was just a year ago when we learned that the Attorney General issued a memo to all U.S. attorneys saying use the Patriot Act against moms and dads showing up at school board meetings. That happened at the prompting of a left-wing organization who was talking to the White House and to the Justice Department prior to ever sending the initial letter that was the pretext for all this. So then you have 3 days ago the Democrats passing legislation which creates 87,000 agents to harass taxpayers in this country, to use your money to come harass you, the taxpayer. Then we have what happened to President Trump, and then we have what happened to Scott Perry. And that's on top of the larger and broader context of what they've done to President Trump now with spying on his campaign, impeachment 1, impeachment 2, January 6th committee, and then, of course, the raid on his private residence. So that's the context. You're right, Jay. They've went past any and all constitutional guardrails. That's what frightens so many Americans.
Yep.
Yeah, one thing, too, I'm starting to see a pattern of, Congressman Jordan, and I wonder if you're seeing the failing up inside these agencies so long as you're with the politics. So the field agent out in Michigan who botched that whole entrapment, supposedly, they were trying to kidnap the Michigan Democrat Governor Whitmer, and then that case fell apart completely on entrapment grounds, mistrial grounds, and he gets then promoted to the Washington, D.C. office to run the Trump investigations. I mean, it just seems like these are the people who should have maybe lost their job or at least been demoted inside their careers, not elevated. Yet I'm sure they share the politics of those in charge.
Yeah. And the scarier thing is, remember, the FBI actually altered evidence to get the initial warrants on President Trump. Kevin Kleinsmith, lawyer at the Justice Department, actually altered evidence that went in front of the court when they first started spying on President Trump and his campaign. So they've already proven they're willing to alter evidence, and you couple that with everything we have seen over the last several years, and then, frankly, all the lies we've caught the January 6th committee in, even though we don't get to sit in on the depositions, we don't get to see the transcripts, we don't get to see the evidence. We've caught them in a number of lies. Imagine how many other false statements they're given to the country that we have no idea of. So that's the broader context, and it's why I've been out and about across our district the last 3 days, and I don't know if I've ever seen people so concerned about where the greatest country in history, the United States of America, where we are headed.
And one of the things that have me concerned, Jim, is that you look at the situation, and if you're outside the United States looking at this, you're thinking, this doesn't happen in the United States of America, the bastion of liberty, the constitutional republic. It doesn't happen here, but it's exactly what's happened here. I
know, and it's why, and you know how we change it? You change it on Election Day. That's how it works in this great country. And I think there is I can sense it, you can feel it. I think Americans are fixing to make a big change on November 8th. I think it's coming. I travel all over our district, all over our state, and frankly, all over the country. And you can see that people are not only fed up with the stupid policies that are being done intentionally to our border, to inflation, to energy, to crime, all the bad things that have happened, and then but also our First Amendment, Second Amendment, Fourth Amendment due process rights. I mean, you name it, they've been assaulted. And I think the Americans are going to show up in a big way and make a change.
I've said this, Congressman Jordan, too. I think that the key for victory in 2022 and 2024 is that massive turnout. That's how you get past all the doubts, all the issues. We just all have to turn out our vote, turn out our friends to vote, remind them 2 months from now, remember what happened to President Trump, remember about the IRS agent, the 87,000 agents. Let's all come together, because I think that's the kind of turnout we need to see.
I agree completely. I think it's coming. This country is made up of all kinds of great people with common sense who understand how bad this is under this administration, what they're doing to the Constitution. And I think they're going to change. And then when they do, it's going to be incumbent upon Republicans to do what we said we would do, to act like President Trump did and actually get accomplished the things you told the voters you were going to go into office and fight for. That's what we got to do.
Congressman Jordan, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it.